There's a clever game we play when it comes to identifying sin. Instead of calling the sin by its biblical name, we slap a nickname on it that allows everyone to nod along with understanding camaraderie. We don't call it an outburst of wrath, for instance, as Paul does. We say that we were simply expressing frustration. This is a sneaky way of avoiding taking responsibility for our sin and thus confessing it, repenting of it, and then mortifying it. An angry man might bark out his disappointment that his child didn't obey him, berating the child for the bad behavior. Internally, he might feel a twinge of guilt that he unloaded that wrath on the kid, but then soothes his conscience by renaming the sin as pent-up frustration. But when a father forms the habit of uncorking his rage at his wife and children and covers it with clever rebranding, he's sinning in two ways. The outburst of wrath is obvious, but he's abdicating the responsibility of his office as head of the home. He has become like the captain of an infantry who turns his weapon on his own troops. When a father rebrands these outbursts of wrath and fosters a culture of berating and demeaning his wife and children, he's a traitor to his own cause. Regardless of whether his wife and children are at fault for some dishonor or disobedience in their own way, it's his calling to take responsibility for the tone and tenor of his home. If things are getting raggedy, if everyone is barking at each other, if all the voices have gotten increasingly screechy, it's the father's duty to lead in pulling off the worldly label on the sin and calling it what God calls it. And then he must lead in mortifying it.